Anyway, you not just dial the numbers in? Yes, but there's one place here that it's been blocked. Well, you dial an 0800 number and then you key in the numbers.
Yes, I see.
So it's still working?
No, it's not. No,
it's not working. Shocking.
Well, I think it's going to come back.
One of the friends here at this gathering is Jeremy Mitchell. I'm sure you've met Jeremy. And he has now just promised, because he has the kind of contact that Nicholas has, to do everything he can to get this well looked after. Thank you, Jeremy. Well done. Let's photograph Jeremy in front here.
Yes.
Come on, Jeremy. You're not going to get away with it.
Right, thank you. That's good.
Please.
So it's okay?
Oh, yes. Get a shot of Robert like that, it's a dramatic picture.
So this is our main man. Right, smile, Jeremy.
Looking out, looking out.
Great.
All right, comrade. Good.
Unfortunately, we don't have Steve here to do the reenactment.
No! He's not coming till lunchtime, is he?
Really? It was a dry summer.
Absolutely incredible. But this, I mean, when it's in space, this must be really something.
Yeah.
This little pipe up there.
Shall we have a look inside the boat house?
Yes, please.
Oh, that's
great.
Such added value. Thank you very much. Yes. Can you give us your names so that we know who we are?
I'm David McLean.
Right.
Oh, it's great to see you. Hello, Nicholas. Hello.
Still on the plane.
Good. Thank you. So make sure, if you wish, there's the boat house.
Yes, so this is the boathouse, and the
a bit rough inside,
at the time of the flood, the McLeans were not there. They had a separate boat, and this is where they kept it. And the coat of arms is to prove it.
Thank you so much for the added value. For everybody, thank you.
It's a little bit rough inside, but there is a storeroom you can go and have a look in.
That's wonderful.
And don't touch that bench at the end because it might collapse.
But this is brilliant. I'm so glad.
Thank you so much.
I'm so glad you hung on to this theory. By the way, are you able to come? When are you going to be in London next?
No, not for a while because I'm not here for a while.
About the water!
The water is crystal clear. Wonderful.
What's happening?
Not a storm in sight.
Excuse me, I wanted just to hear from right out there, he knows it.
Yes.
You can't see him.
Tiny dot out there. Yeah, it's from my way.
There's Robert being poetic.
He always does that, doesn't he?
Because the first screening of the film was. By the way, this is our up-to-date address. Can you give me yours?
Yes, I will.
And I've now been. It wasn't prepared. It's a tragedy because it's a major feature. So it's really in the last. It's been gradual. Here's another for Hector. Julia and David very kindly. David McLean, who publisher and printer. Julia, engraver, artist, very kindly brought down a book called Evocations, which has got a lot of pictures, engravings by Julia of this local area, including the telephone box. They're £10 a book. She sold all the books that she had brought with her. But if we stop at any more lodge, and if we leave immediately, she has more. And you'll also see the MacLean of Pennycross coat of arms on the front of the house, and it's a perfect example of small German Scottish baronial. So
Let's go.
And I think, and some of the filming that I know where I'm going.
I've got no idea what Scottish baronial is. You have to look that one up.
Lots of that. Now the door, and that came from Tarsay, and probably from the Nuns' Cave, which is the same source that the sandstone to build Iona Abbey came from. So that's that. And then if we go here, and I'll show you the door. Behind the door, hung yet. You can see the hinges where the yet hung. And that my grandfather took off because he thought that it was going to rust out, and he thought it was quite a historical piece of piece of kit. So he put it in the house. So that's now in the billiard room in a wooden frame. And then behind the yet, this piece of wood pulls out, and that piece of wood goes into a hole on the other side of the door, and you cannot pull this out. So it must have been built in with the castle. So
And that again is traditional castles that period,
Yeah.
like Orford.
Yes, I mean castles, as Nicholas said, of that period, that sort of thing. But there is another door here, which may have been older than this door, or may have been there at the same time, which you have to, from the outside, get up to with a ladder, which again was sort of traditional from a safety point of view. They would come in and pull the ladder up. So now we'll go upstairs, and I'll show you upstairs. But watch your heads on these lintels as we go upstairs, because they're quite low, and you can give yourself a nasty crack. Okay? So, I'll turn the torch backwards so you can...
After you.
Filming? No.
Yeah, go on, sorry.
You can see here,
Sorry.
this doorway, you see the line of it there. And it's even coming out from the region of wooden window. And you can see, if you look at it from the outside, you can see much clearer, you know, the outline of the door. We've had an earth floor which would have gone up about 12 inches up the wall, so that would have covered all these rocks. And you can see on the floor the vaulting from downstairs. And you can see it demonstrates how the vaulting goes that way downstairs and this way upstairs. And you would have had a brazier, you know, probably a metal basket with a fire in the middle in there. And then these holes there and there, that's where the smoke goes out.
And they were living here till 1750?
They were living in here till 1740.
Yes.
But I suspect that only the family lived in here.
Yes.
And in the sort of bits around outside, then the other clansmen would live, and in times of stress or attack, then they would all hide inside for safety. And how this would have been covered up, I'm not quite sure, but I am sure it wouldn't have looked like that. It either would have been earth day, or it would have had a sort of wooden dais or something like that. So there are all these stories, and of course if the clan chief dies, then you're supposed to hear the headless horseman, who I imagine is Ewan Beck, riding from Lochbuie House to the mausoleum at Lagan without his head.
And they will say stopping at this castle on the way to the mausoleum, which is just
probably he doesn't ride from Lochbuie House at all. He probably rides from this castle to the mausoleum. But anyway, he hasn't been seen that often. So now, this is the dungeon in here, and there's not really room for more than 2 people at a time. So if I go in, I've got a pallet over the top of it because my dog fell in it, and that's to stop the dogs falling in it. But I'll lift that up, and you can come have a look down inside.
And the red boat and the blue boat had a race. There's one off. Are they all on one boat, or is there two boats? Oh, the second boat's moving now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Are they both inflatable?
Hmm. Ribs, I think, aren't they?